Just use your hand in your hair. Yeah, but like this is some James Dean stuff. If I had like a leather jacket on or a jean jacket, the world might stop spinning, you know? MarketTube. I'm transitioning from traveler chasing cosmic visions to a quiet witness of the direct path where nothing's separate and all is one. You think so? You see that? You see that in me? I don't know what I'm doing, dude. I'm just here. Sometimes I feel that. Sometimes I'm like seeing God. And then sometimes I'm just like, what the fuck am I doing? There's no way God's real. Because if he was real, he would not do this to me. So I'm just constantly dancing between extremes. Do you think AI is going to cause a drought with all the data centers? I would like to think that humanity wins. Like, I want humanity to be like, what up, Paul? Is it Paul Lee or Paul? I don't want to keep saying it wrong. I smoke one toke of local Maui herb. To see God or for God to see you? Well, I think if God is real, he's probably just constantly like waiting for us to awaken, right? Maybe not. I don't know. Fuck, I don't know. To even talk about God is like a embarrassing level of confidence. I could never say what that thing is. God is dead. I think God's real because you're always on at a time I need you. Oh, thank you. You're always here when I need you too. This is not a one-way relationship. What has been your biggest lesson in life that you still grapple with integrating? Jesus, man, you guys ask me like the craziest questions. It's 11 a.m. Hold on, let me think. Let me try to answer it. What has been your biggest lesson in life that you still grapple with integrating? The most immediate thing that pops up in my mind is that discipline. I understand how important discipline is, and discipline might be the most important thing. And I lack it, and I know it, and I still lack it. So it's like, how can I know something is so important that I can accomplish all my dreams, I can take advantage of every opportunity, and I can have the clearness of the highest potential and still not grab it? We all know what is right and what is best for us, but for some reason, there's just a part of us that makes it so hard to just stand up and do it. Like if I wanted, you can just do anything. This is an interactive universe. We are in control, and through discipline, we can expand that. You know what I'm saying? Did that answer your question? I can't integrate it, even though I know it's so important. And I can so there's some moments where I feel so confident. It's like, you know what? Actually, if I just do it, whatever the thing is, if I just do it, it'll be mine. I can accomplish it. Whatever my dreams are in this world. Nice haircut. Thank you. I've not got a haircut in a long time, but I appreciate it. And I am now experiencing what that guy was making fun of. Like, why have a stupid haircut that covers your face? But I'm too prideful to do anything about it. So I'm just going to let it stay covering my eye. Let it grow. I'm thinking about cutting it real short, actually. When you close your eyes in the dark, do you see pure black, or do you see an acid trip even sober? I don't see black anymore. It's pretty overwhelming. No, I'm seeing like flashing shapes. I can't explain what shapes they are. Maybe orange color. I see a little bit of yellow. I actually can change the color, whatever color I want it to be. And I can make it any shape I want to. I don't even know what that means. How do we have the ability to just close our eyes and see stuff that's not there? Shave anywhere else? No, I'm pretty hairy everywhere else. I've showed my legs on the stream before. Did you ever pull out Connors Murphy? I see you keep saying that, but I don't understand what that means. Have you ever tried Perk 30s? Is that a drug? Percocets? I've never taken any pills like that to get high. I did MDMA a little bit. Do your dreams feel real? Yeah, my dreams are pretty real feeling. Not always. Sometimes I'm able to wake up in it or something. I've had a couple lucid dreams, but pretty much I'm immersed into them like an odyssey. I'm also a hairy Italian. I feel you. I don't think I have any Italian in me, but I feel Italian sometimes. Sometimes I look at myself, I'm like, dude, what are you, the most fucking Italian guy to ever live? I have this little cross necklace I wear sometimes. And it's like, what are you talking about? What is that? I just come off the boat straight from Italy? Sent 100 for 2 jewels. I've still not learned what these jewels are on here. Dude, it's just me every live stream just being like, thank you for the jewels, but I don't know what they do. You got to get Crip Mac on DMT. Yeah, that's hilarious. Crip Mac. Isn't that's so funny that me and Crip Mac did a podcast together? Sorry, guys. I'm reading a meltdown someone's having in one of my YouTube comment sections. You know, it's so funny to especially talk about spiritual Do you miss your mustache? Bro, my mustache will be back in like 4 hours. But what was I going to say? It's just interesting to talk about spiritual topics on the internet because it attracts people that need, well, like angry people or people that just are like, I don't know, this guy is like just sending mini messages where it's like, bro, you think I'm gonna read this long ass message and it's just him critiquing me? You know, you read the first sentence. Let me read the first sentence real quick. You turned into a grumpy little sad sack, spitting out your own delusion to frame things into your misguided ideas. And then it goes on literally for probably, it would take me probably 4 minutes to read this whole thing. And then there are people responding to him, and he's just sending these stories, these storied narratives of his emotions. But it's like, dude, you're, I don't know. I just don't go watch YouTube videos and write comments to people like that. You know, like I would never just go to some guy's like YouTube channel and just fucking write like 5 paragraphs of what I feel about him. Especially like, oh, you don't know anything. Your spirit is closed or whatever he said about me. You're a grumpy old man. It's like, bro, you've watched a YouTube video of me. And if you're having this big of a reaction because you watched a YouTube video of a person you don't even know, just walk away. But having a YouTube channel that talks about spiritual stuff, these channels, or it allows these people to come. It's like I'm a whiteboard for like these psychotics. I've had people stalk me. You know, I don't know, man. There's this one guy who sends shit to my mom's house. Like letters, he hand writes letters and sends them to my mom's house, and they're just like the most crazy psychopathic things. And it's just like, what in the fuck, man? You watched a YouTube video of me, and this is how you're engaging with the world. And it's so interesting to just be like a guy. Okay, yeah, I make YouTube videos, but like behind the screen, I'm just like a person. I'm walking in life, you know. I go and I piss, and I got to put my pants on. I'm just a normal person. But being on a screen gives people this. It gives them the ability to. Someone said project. Yeah, it's just like you now have a symbol to project all your bullshit onto, and it becomes so obvious because it's like, what are you talking about, dude? How do you understand people like that? I don't understand them. And it's so weird to be the person that people do that to. Dude, there's another girl. What's her name? Fuck, I can't think of her name right now. There's this girl. She's been sending me messages, no lies, for like 6-7 years straight. And the most crazy things that like I'm in group chats with I don't know, just I read the messages sometimes just because I'm like, my God, dude, this is like a movie level of psychoticism, of psychopathy. And yeah, she was following me in India based on where I was posting. So she went to India knowing I was there, but I'm never really posting live. So like what you're seeing is probably a couple days behind me. And she was following my steps, looking for me. And I was like, oh my God, dude. It's scary, actually. Because like, yeah, maybe she's just some like little girl, but like, I don't know, maybe she finds where I'm sleeping or something. Like when this kid sent this letter to my mom's house, I was actually scared. I was like, he has my mom's address and he's sending these crazy handwritten letters to me. Like I was like considering like, do I call the police and say something about this? Or even YouTubers get weird, man. Apparently, I shouldn't say it. Never mind. I was going to say so. I was going to give you guys some YouTube gossip, but it's not my place. How these MFs got time for all that? I don't know. I wish I could. I could probably just go to my messages and find that girl's. Let's see. She probably because she'd never stop messaging me. It's like almost every day or something. How do I get to my messages? I don't really use Facebook so much, but I know she sends me a lot of messages on my Facebook page. I'll read some of these messages to you guys so you can see what the fuck I'm talking about. But it's not every day to that extreme, but it is like everyday messages. You know, every single day of my life, I get messages from these crazy people like this guy. Let's read some more of this message. I actually didn't even make it past the first couple sentences. I am a spiritual healer, and your problems are obvious. You are a grumpy little sad sack spitting out your own delusion to frame things. And this is just a comment of me on a live stream. You had a big ego to begin with, and the pot has increased it. It's pathetic because there's nothing backing. You've taken some psychedelics, but you have never experienced empathy or understanding. You just observe others and comment and then run on your delusion. And some of it works. What works for you and throw away what doesn't. It's all illusion anyway and highest understanding. I'm skipping, by the way, because this is just so long. If anyone gives you an idea that it is different to yours, you will usually take it negative or opposite because you are conflicted and you have a dark spirit. You need to lay off and no good or bad or right or wrong. You are a dark nature little grumpy boy. I bet this poor little boy has shed many tears in his room at his inner turmoil. Your brain is fried and you are not thinking clearly. Looks like he needs to stay blocked. He has taken psychedelics. Hey, nothing wrong, good or bad about any of this. Lost boy is sullen and messed. It just keeps going and going and going and going. I have mastered a few arts, one of them being it rain anytime I want. I use a 750-year-old Thai Lana rain ritual, and I have extensive occult knowledge. I gained it from 20 years in Thailand. I've met 3 Aharant monks and holy beings. This dark dude prefers to search out because it fits the darkness in his soul. All whatever. You are knowledgeable. You are ignorant, yet you think you're knowledgeable. Delusion head. A YouTube channel is your measure of success. That's pretty pathetic. It just keeps going and going. And it's just like, this is messages I get every day from many people for the last 10 years of my life. And it's just such an interesting psychological examination into human behavior. Because it's like I am going through a spiritual process as a human being like anybody. And for some reason, my way to express that has been through YouTube and through social media, like a journal kind of, And that has given these people some relatability because other people are going through this. Also, we're all in life. And to hear someone reaffirm what we're going through is nice. So I understand. And, but it also allows people to objectify me and project craziness onto me without ever even having a conversation with me. They watch a single YouTube video and then all of a sudden they're finding my address and sending letters to me. And it's like, hypothetically, what if they are low-key right? It'd be hilarious, but I highly doubt that an enlightened master would be leaving schizo rants in a stranger's YouTube comments. There's other compassionate ways to express somebody's misguidance. If you recognize that somebody is having some sort of, I don't know, you spiritual inadequacy, then you help them. You don't say like, you don't try to offend them, you know? Do you say Har Har Mahadev when you smoke weed? Not all the time, but I should. Har Har Mahadev. I was talking about you.
Really?
Just we were talking about messages, like how messages come from the universe. And I was just saying, like it. Someone asked the question. You know, like when those YouTubers are like, "Oh, if you found this video, then the universe has a message for you."
Yeah,
And I was like, "Oh, I don't think the universe talks that way. It talks in a way like
it does.
the quantum entanglement type of thing." And I brought that story up.
Cool. It talks in. I think that it talks in all the ways. You also
Yeah, I guess
gotta
I guess
listen to it.
everything is the universe talking, right?
It's about like how it doesn't want to talk to you at that moment. You have to be able to tune in.
But it's also a cheap way for YouTubers to get views, like manipulate your emotions. Like, oh, you found this video.
Yes, of course. And there's always that in the back of my mind. Like if something doesn't resonate, I'm just like, no.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I roast here?
No, it's all good. No, I do not astral project. At least not sober. I've done it a couple times on accident in drug induced visionary states. Do you miss your hair? No, not really. It is falling out. I think though you can't tell, but I feel like I can feel it. I don't have any bald spots, but I feel like maybe another 15 years or something, and there will be a little one. Flowerhead Show. Yeah, I need to see what's up with the Flowerhead Show. There's supposed to be a new episode coming out. I'm gonna text them right now. Namaste. The other episode. What do you think about deja vu? I don't know. It was a very weird experience, right? I don't know what it is. Ever read Castaneda? Yeah, I did read a little bit. I remember, what do I remember from reading Castaneda? I feel like I remember him talking about being, maybe I was on a bus, but I have a vision of me reading Castaneda, and he was talking about little diablitos and how they would poison people with corn. Like if you grab this piece of corn, you would die or something. Just all like the weird witchy stuff of old Mexico. Do you miss your hair? What kind of sick perverted question is this? Dude, you don't know how people ask me about my hair all the time. I cut my hair like 4 years ago, and people are still shocked by it. This is what I mean, where it's like it's weird to be a character on a screen for people. Because yeah, I get it, because I do it to people too, but it's just weird to be that person. Corn is genetically modified, right? I think the new type of corn we eat is like sweet corn. I think is genetically modified. But if you go to like South America and stuff, you see normal corn. Is there any Indians in here? Anyone from India watching? Is the Odisha guy still in here? He stopped spamming about Odisha, so I feel like he probably left. Didn't you have dreads? I had a couple. I never had full dreads. Yeah, Thailand is fully legal here, so you get normal weed just like you would anywhere. Man, there's no Indians. I'm surprised. California raised Indian. What was that? I forgot why I was even asking about Indians. I was going to bring something. Oh, yeah. I was going to ask if any of you know who Acharya Prashant is. He's kind of spiritual teacher. I remember like during some of my first days in India when I met Jamie, the guy that has been doing these live streams with me the last few days because he's living here. He was spending a lot of time with this guy, Prashant, who he was just saying is really blowing his mind as far as like talking about spiritual topics go. And it's just been interesting because Prashant has turned into a sort of phenomena in India, like a living spiritual teacher. You know, he's up there with Sadhguru numbers and stuff. And Jamie was just like sitting with him as friends when I was first going to India. I haven't done a proper deep dive on it. I need to out of respect for Jamie. You know, I feel like Jamie is so tuned in and spiritually connected that I know there's I trust his judgment on that. Yeah, Prashant. That's a good question, Jaden. What do you think about when the Bible says the kingdom of God is within you? Well, of course, I think it means what all the spiritual traditions have been telling us, you know? At some point, you have to stop exerting outward and go inward a bit. And I feel like when you go inward, you realize, it's when you really begin to realize what the spiritual nature is. Because the longer we are exerting ourselves outwards, we see everything is changing. So it's very hard to understand what is happening. Everything is shifting, moving, our bodies are aging, time is moving. But inward, you eventually reach some still place once you crack through your thoughts and once you find what Ramana Maharshi would call the gap in between thoughts. Like once you are sitting in that place, I don't know, it's almost like it is like the fabric of life itself. It's like not bound to your body or not bound to time. It's like the thing happening behind all of it. And I think all religions are pointing at this space. And I think that quote is probably pointing at that. Same thing the Buddha talked about when they talked about stillness, or when the Hindus talk about samadhi. Inward is great, but don't deny the external. Emptiness is form. Yeah, you don't deny the external, but you don't give your authority to it. Because if you give your authority to it, you're giving your authority away to something that's temporary. Okay, so we got the new Flowerhead show coming Monday. Acharya Prashant feels like a practical teacher, easy to dip in. Hmm. Yeah, it's cool. You know, if Jamie might be here in like an hour or so, he would love to talk about it. And the way he talks about it is like not as necessarily guru disciple type of thing, but as someone that's really has something worth saying. He talks about Prashant that way. Tell us a story about Ram Dass. Okay, let me think. A Ram Dass story. Well, you know, I remember this one moment which was really weird. It was like this fractalization. We were in Maui. I was with my friend JR, and we were screening this documentary that was being made for Ram Dass, about Ram Dass's life. And I don't know, there's 5 of us just sitting there watching it. Just, I don't know, just to see the first draft of it. And Raghu, or maybe my friend Lucian, wheeled in Ram Dass to watch it. And he gave us like this little third eye salute. And I just sat behind Ram Dass while we watched this documentary about him. And it was, I just watched the back of his head as he watched the screen. And I was like, this is just weird. This is just like some weird fractal implosion. And I tell this story a lot, but this was a big awakening for me. I was super vegan at the time, and I remember really holding these beliefs like it is actually a spiritual superior thing to be vegan because you are reducing suffering in a meaningful way, I thought. And spending time with Ram Dass, I was watching him eat chicken and be kind of a grumpy old man a little bit, you know, like, you know, he was really old by the time I was with him. And at first it like kind of destabilized me a little bit. I was like, that's not what I expected. And there was definitely the moments I expected where it's like, wow, this is Ram Dass, you know, he's giving me some crazy message. Anytime I asked him a question, you know, he would take the time to answer. For one, he was not able to speak so much at the end, or he was, but very slowly. And I always felt rushed because I didn't want to take his time. And he would always never rush, actually. One time he like cut me off. I was like, okay, thank you, Ram Dass. And he's like, I'm not done yet. But the reason it was powerful for me is because it gave me, I don't know, you know, it just broke my rigidness with what I thought spirituality had to be. Being vegan is the right thing to do, not for spirituality. It's because we literally do not need to kill animals for our own good. We have technology and resources to not induce suffer. Yeah, I mean, you know, this has only happened within what, the last 50 years we've had technology. So you were trying to demand in a gigantic change across the planet after millions of years of humans behaving a specific type of way to now saying like that's wrong. You know, it's only been a generation since we've had the luxury of doing that. And the people that do have the luxury of being vegan is like the small demographic in America or westernized countries or countries that have the luxury of that option. You go to most of the world, you go to India, you go to, I don't know, even places here in Thailand or in Africa or something. People don't have the ability to have the technology that you're talking about or the ability to have the extra resources to choose what they want. Like going and telling these people in Papua New Guinea, like, to stop hunting because it's 2026, it's just like, you're seeing the world from a very, very small, narrow corridor. is doable in a lot of places, but will require sacrifices. Yeah, it's true. But also, you're in a universe that is eating itself. You know? Do you understand what this universe is enough to make it a confident spiritual decision and say this is superior? I'm not sure. All the things eating you when you die are going to be laughing at your supposed superiority. It's expensive to be vegan or vegetarian in the States. Veganism is intentioned, but ultimately divisive. Yeah, of course it's well intentioned. The animals should be treated well and they shouldn't suffer. I agree. We should try. I think factory farming is not good, and those probably the meat that you eat from factory farms is not good either. It's probably low quality, stressed. But you live in we live in countries where you have a high demand. You can't just go out and eat hunted animals because there's so many people that want hamburgers every day, and that requires you to have little tiny shacks with animals in them. So I think it could be changed. I think there are things that could be changed. What are your thoughts about meditation as a means of manifestation? Except example visualization and feel as if the feel as if you have the desired outcome. The idea's outer reality will begin to reflect the inner. Yeah, I think that's a way, I guess, of saying inspiration. I'm not one of the people that think if you just sit around and visualize that opportunities are going to present themselves. But I think of it on a practical way, Yeah, you should visualize a goal and then make the actions to achieve that goal. I don't know about meditation as a means of manifestation. I think action as a means to manifest the things you want. Because you see all these people that like talk like that. It's like, oh, just think about it. You have some guy with a whiteboard on Instagram or YouTube or something, just explaining how to attract things. It's like, just work, dude. We should be meditating to calm ourselves. But yeah, that's just me being like an asshole. I do think there's some use to it, just sitting there and meditating and projecting what you want out of this life and what you want to accomplish. Of course, there's use in doing that, but I think it gets kind of commercialized into a way where it's like magic or something. It's like, just, what do they call it? The Secret. It's secret quantum with your brain. Just tap into the quantum world and think about what you want, and the reality will react to it. It's like, yeah, maybe on some level, but there's still a necessity to be engaged into the world. You're just kind of changing the way that the language that you're using, but you're still like working towards something. I guess having like a spiritual language helps people maybe feel that inspiration, feel like they're working towards something. Grind culture has become so silly. Yeah, I think that's silly too. But on some level too, it's like we grind no matter what, you know. It's either you grind to live the life you want to live and to build your dreams, or you're going to grind for someone else's. You know, wherever you work, I don't know, you work for a factory or fast food restaurant or whatever it is, mechanic. Unless you have your own shop and stuff, you're just building someone else's dream. You have to grind no matter what. But I know what you mean by like grind culture in the way where it's like, come on, dude, get up, do your push ups. We're waking up at 5 a.m. and I sell fake Pokemon cards and I'm stacking my money. That's hilarious. I feel like there's some justification in that as long as if you're not scamming little kids. But if you're scamming like Jake Paul and shit, these guys that are buying like $100,000 Pokemon cards. Who has done my ink work, my tattoos? I've started getting tattooed when I was 16 and I'm 34. So I've been getting tattooed for a long time. My head and my arm is done by a guy named Guy Lay, G-U-Y. We say Guy. One of my favorite tattoo artists. And then just, yeah, random people from Detroit. A guy named Mike Emmett. A guy named Mike Adams. Nobody famous, you know. Well, I guess Guy. Guy is pretty famous. He's like a legendary tattoo artist. I want to have him black out my arm. I was thinking about just going completely black. My job is to watch YouTube all day. It's a good job. You guys, I have to urinate. Enjoy the waterfall real quick. I'll be back 2 minutes. You know, guys, I don't know. I want to answer your question about this person and his breath work and stuff in general, but I don't know any of this stuff. I've done breath work a few times in a group setting and it's been amazing. And I've done it a couple times by myself, but I've never really gone down the path of like that kind of stuff, doing breath work or ice baths. Only like dabbled in it, you know. I know only the big ones like Wim Hof. I don't know all these other guys. Is it good? Should I check it out? I sometimes wish earning money wasn't the default goal taught to humans. It's a bit alien to us to grind work when humans are left alone. What they do naturally, express themselves, dance, sing. Yeah, it is. It does kind of suck. It's like yeah, it is very bizarre, right? We're just animals, but somehow we have gotten trapped into. Oh, they got us. We got. Let's be real. Like there are just some guys at the tops that are benefiting with their feet up, laughing. Like, look at these fucking peasants, dude. They just give us money. Look, they just do what we tell them. We don't understand because I don't know, because we are so identity focused, we don't understand we're just animals on a little planet. And like if we could only just wake up a little bit and have that realization, like I'm just an ape, and yeah, I'm an unusual ape, but I'm just an animal on this planet. Why all this bizarre sort of theater? Makes no sense. We're just gonna really like kill ourselves and stress out over all of this stuff that doesn't even actually exist outside the human mind and world. And the planet is big enough that you can just fuck off and go into the jungle or something if you wanted to and truly be a human again. Of course, that's very hard, but there are people doing it on the planet right now, just living like real people. And of course, you know, we have this romantic idea that they're not grinding or that they're just out there dancing and stuff, but they live hard lives too. You know, every time I go to those villages off in Papua New Guinea or just in Ethiopia, everyone's got runny noses. They're always kind of coughing and sick, and they do some beautiful things. You know, actually, they were all dancing, but women work very hard, men work very hard. So it's, you know, there is this romantic idea that we project onto it, but Connor Murphy went mad with that very wisdom. I don't want to talk about somebody that passed away, but and I don't know him personally, so it's not, my opinion means nothing. But he seemed to have had some actual kind of mental issues. But then you go, I don't know, just talk about bad things some dead person did. Stupid. I'll let him rest. Meet some Taoists. Wanderer, please go to China. Yeah, I'm gonna go to China next year. Thank you for the confirmation. It's a big like inspiration of mine to go to China. Yeah, he was interesting. You know, I don't have a big connection with Connor Murphy as far as like I didn't really watch his videos or anything, but because we were both making ayahuasca content and psychedelic videos back in those early days, people would send it to me all the time because he was starting to just say kind of wild things on camera after he was taking ayahuasca. I think he said he was the coming of Jesus, and people were like, is this guy losing his mind or is it a bit? I thought it was just a bit, but that was my only framework of him, was like a guy that kind of went a little bit crazy from psychedelics, or at least he presented himself that way. But I just watched, my friend Tom did an interview with him, and I just watched it, and I was like, yeah, I mean, this guy seems crazy because he's like, you know, putting stuff in his face and doing surgeries and talking about stretching his dick out to make it get an inch longer and putting fibers in his hair to make his, you know, but he was talking intelligently, you know. I was surprised to hear like, oh, this guy actually just seems kind of cool and just seems like he's taking his interest to the extremes. In a way, I'm also doing that, you know. So yeah, R.I.P. We're all just all us guys in here. We're all just little boys. We are still that little kid, just trying to figure it out. And it gets a lot. It's pretty bumpy in the middle, and probably bumpy the whole journey. But you never know what people are going through. You can't watch a YouTube video and think you know somebody, or you don't even know the people in your own life. You know you, right? And now think about the way you present yourself to the world. You are a son to your parents, a brother, sister. You are a friend. You are a coworker, and no one. They only know these fragmentations of you. No one really knows you except for you, and then we really don't even know ourselves either. I can tell when I'm going insane. Been doing it for the past year. Yeah, I've been in a pretty manic state for about 4 years straight. I feel like I'm just now transmuting it. It's just been such a hurricane of being blown back and forth. But yeah, I'm feeling like I'm getting out of the hurricane, and I'm beginning to see like, oh shit, dude, the sun's coming out, and I can finally transmute that into creativity, which is why like I'm starting all these different YouTube channels now and attempting to bring this YouTube channel back to life, and I don't know, just processing my energy through YouTube and creativity. What do you think about Lazar? Pretty interesting. I don't know the ins and outs of his story well enough to fully tell you, but I like it. I like to think of that stuff. It's I like all the conspiracies about aliens. Your YouTube channel will always be alive. Thank you. I appreciate that. Can you say hi to me? It's Ella. Hello, Ella. The streams are great. Yeah, I appreciate it. I think with AI and everything, it just feels good just to be kind of vulnerable, right? Just talk to a camera and just be a bit naked and just normal, I don't know. It feels like everything's moving so fast that it just feels good to just sit here and be a normal person. I think everything is going to become so curated and high production. It is already, right? You see how AI everyone's using, even me too. And it's helped me definitely make higher production stuff. And I love playing around with all the AI advancements. But at the same time, it's like, man, maybe we should have just stopped in like 2010. We could still do this. We'd still just hang out. We had social media. We had YouTube. It's like, do we really need high video production on demand from a robot, or all the stuff that's coming that we just can't even predict yet? It's cool. I use AI, so I'm not talking shit. Well, I am talking shit a little bit, but it's just like, I don't know, we're all going to revert to a more simple times. And I feel like it's already hitting me a little bit. Like, I just want to like do this, have some friends that I met on the internet and go online and smoke and talk. Digital archaeologist. That's so hilarious. I love that idea. Oh man, can you imagine? You're just like digging through code and you find stuff and old README files. That's interesting. They're saying the AI bubble is about to pop. What does that mean? It's called archiving. Yeah, I've been making some, ironically, using AI to make some archival websites. For example, I made mushroomtribes.com. You go to mushroomtribes.com and it talks about all the different cultures who use psychedelic mushrooms in their traditions. You can go to it now. It's already all made. The modern revival. I made a modern revival section. Popular thinkers, the clinical renaissance, underground retreat culture, law and decriminalization. It's got Terence McKenna in there. It's got the West discovers the mushroom, talking about Gordon Wasson. People. I made a people section, and I put myself in there. I put like all the modern people. Another guy like Colin Clark. He's another young guy who's kind of interested in mushrooms, and yeah, it's cool. Paul Stamets. Go check that website out. It's not done yet, and I'm sure there's some hiccups in it, but it's fun. I'm looking at it right now. It's got different psychedelic mushrooms, and let's see, click it. Yeah, it tells you where it grows. High altitude mushroom of central Mexico. Grows near volcanoes. Recorded among contemporary Nahua, and they called it Apitzlin. Yeah, all about psychedelic mushrooms. Mushroomtribes.com. Mushroomtribes.com. It was just for fun, you know. It's like a website I wish existed, right? Because that's something I'm interested in. I'm like, oh man, I wish like I knew everything about, because I love the mushroom. It's an interesting experience. What tribes have used this? Because once you find out, or what's like, how is it being used today? You know, you just decriminalized or in clinical things. How is it helping people today? And there's no one source that gives you all of that. So, you know, AI helped me make that in a couple days. The map view is cool. Yeah, it's a cool website, right? And I mean, it didn't really take me much effort because of the AI helped. Like that map and stuff, that's just the AI making that. I gave it like the information I wanted it to distribute throughout the website. Yeah, I use Claude. Gotta wonder how much of it hallucinates, or even if it can with the info you fed it. I didn't. Everything looks pretty accurate. It's gotten way better as far as those like really. This is not ChatGPT. Like ChatGPT fucking sucks with its hallucinations. Like sometimes you'd be like, you stupid robot. But yeah, whatever Claude's doing, I found it better than Codex. Like, I don't know if any of you guys are into that little world, but I was using both Codex and Claude, and I found Codex is obviously ChatGPT, and it uses ChatGPT's kind of like the voice, the narrative of ChatGPT's voice, alliteration. I don't know what the word is, but it talks like ChatGPT, and I was like, I don't like it. You know, it just sounds like ChatGPT, and it's kind of annoying to read a bunch of information written by ChatGPT. You can also see all these YouTubers reading their scripts now, and if you use ChatGPT, it's just so obvious. It's almost like disrespectful. Like, bro, you're really gonna read a ChatGPT script to me? First draft ChatGPT script, by the way. But anyways, yeah, I found Claude's narrative voice to be better. Yeah, go to my website to check this out. dakotaofearth.com/desktop. Check that out. I made this on with Codex. It took a little bit more time to make. I don't know if it's going to look good on mobiles, but if any of you got your computer open, this was really fun to make. And I didn't really complete it, but it's cool. It's like a hidden Easter egg on my website. Get someone to back you. If you're smart like you are, run it and get it started. Yeah, it's going. Yeah, it's cool, right? Like the stuff you could do. Let me check it on mobile. I haven't checked it. And I'm talking specifically about the desktop / desktop. My normal website is also pretty interesting, but Dakotaverse / desktop was really fun to make. Let's see. Yeah, it's kind of there. Look, like this little guy right here. He says things. What else does he say? Let's see. The moon sees what you post and remains silent out of pity. Do not trust envy. Wait. Oh, do not trust every vision. Some are just dehydration wearing a crown. Your soul is. Oh, fuck, I disappeared. The guru inside you is currently arguing with you. Is currently arguing with the little accountant in you. Okay, some of these are not that good. Come on, give us a good one, little wizard guy. The gods are not mad; they are just deeply unimpressed. Do not confuse a spiritual awakening with needing to leave the city. Ooh, I like that one. Anyways, it's just cool. You know, like I got this little guest book here. You click guest book, and then everyone has been leaving little notes here. And you can post pictures of your sunset or of whatever. People are posting pictures of gas pumps. Hey, good to see you. Yeah, anyways, it's cool. You know, look, people are posting funny selfies of themselves. Yeah, so you go to my guest book, dakotaverse.com/guestbook, and leave a little note. It's been fun. I love reading them. And it's even got a thumbs up thing in there, so you can just thumbs up it if you agree with it. And people are actually using it. Someone's just saying bing boing bing bong. So you can put whatever you want on there. What web hosting service do you use? I use a thing called Hostinger. Yeah, thank you, Sochipili. What if you made it an app? I don't know if anyone would use it. Man, if you guys keep asking me about this goddamn DMT laser experiment, I'm just going to throw my laptop into the river. You would use the app? I don't know. Yeah, I can consider it. I don't really know how I would use it, but like, what would be the purpose of it? You know, like a community place. You mean like this, but on an app? How long do you usually let your mustache grow? I don't know, a couple days. My mustache grows so fast, man. I shaved this morning, and by like the end of the day, it'll already be back. I'm gonna go to Mumbai in like a week. I got your poetry book. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad you like it. Some of it is cringe. I went back and read some of it now after it's been a few years since I released it, and I'm like, but it's okay. I had to get it out of me. I wish I was not consumed by the internet, dude. I'm consumed by the internet too. Don't worry. Long live the internet. What's the favorite place you've traveled to? I've thought deeply about this question, and the answer is going to disappoint everybody. The best place that I found in the universe. My grandma's house, 2012. Nothing beats it. But as far as like the world goes, I love Mexico City. I love Cusco in Peru. Everywhere is amazing. You know, every place. It's like a person. You know, how do you choose a favorite person? Everyone is just so cool. For you know, like this person is cool and that person's cool. I can't choose. They're both cool. You know, how do you choose Jesus or Buddha? It's like can't choose, man. Or how do you choose between like a mango and a strawberry? It's like ah. I mean, maybe if you got a gun to my head, I can choose, but do you view cannabis more as a recreational substance or a medicine? I guess I would probably use it more recreationally. Probably just more as like an addiction, kind of. You know, I don't even necessarily feel high. I just do it out of habit. Um, Sometimes I do, yes. Sometimes I just get high and kind of like sit here, like. But I also recognize the medicinal part to it. Goddamn bugs, dude. I'm watching myself on the screen, and it's a couple seconds delayed, so I can look away and look it back at myself, and it happens in a delayed reaction, and I just look so much like an animal. My mannerisms. I've spent a lot of time with monkeys, and I have seen their subtleties in the way they move, and sometimes I do those subtleties, and I'm like, fuck. Do other people see me that way? Like sometimes I have like eczema, I guess it is, and sometimes it is bad, like here in my mustache and like on my cheeks, and my face will like become a little itchy, and I find myself like taking my shirt and like rubbing my face, and it just looks so animalistic, dude. It's like, come on, bro, you're in front of people, but it doesn't feel animalistic when I'm doing it like this. It's very monkey-like, you know, to rub your face with your shirt. Started bleeding from wiping your face. Jesus, man, you're wiping your face too hard. Monkeys don't have shirts. Yeah, but if they did, that's what they would do with them. You're right. You guys are right. Monkeys don't naturally have shirts. Mash? Lumash? Thank you, Lumash. I appreciate it. Yeah, I love those gorilla videos where you see all the foreigners going on the gorilla walks, and then the gorillas just fuck with the people. Like they'll grab them by their backpack and just like throw them to the ground, or just the people sit there all calm, and the little like baby gorilla will just like slap one of them and then run away. They're in Congo, I think, right? Where the lady was dragged by her foot for a couple feet. It's so funny. Because it really doesn't seem like the gorillas are trying to hurt you, actually. It really seems like they're just fucking with you. You know what I'm saying? I also refuse to be less alive, even if as a techno necromancer, I'm recursively eternally late. Techno necromancer. Techno necromancer. What does that mean? You're raising the dead via technology? Is AI techno necromancy? R.I.P. Harambe. Yeah, R.I.P. Truly R.I.P. That's a sad situation. Can't believe they did that to our boy, you know? They're not dumb animals. They don't just want to smash and kill everything. What if someone is attracted to AI? Are they necro? I think necromancy is like raising, like doing stuff with dead bodies. Necromancy, meaning necromancy is the practice of communicating with the dead. Ah, didn't know that. I thought necromancy was like using dead bodies and stuff for black magic. Oh, right here. During the Middle Ages and the Renaissance, the term became synonymous with sorcery, black magic, and witchcraft. It was strictly condemned by many religious and historical institutes. Because I remember, like, they used to say John Dee was a necromancer, right? And that he used to go out into the cemeteries. I even kind of considered the Agor people in India to be necromancers. Yeah, right here. Let's see. This picture of John Dee raising a dead body from the cemetery in a circle. It's pretty interesting, you know? Like, even these Agoras, when they are geometry, there's something bizarre with geometry and magic. Do you practice magic at all? Yeah. For some reason, just naturally kind of came in with that interest. I remember being really young and going to, I don't know if you guys are a little bit younger than me. You might not remember the store called Borders. It was a bookstore, and you could go there, and they had a section full of tarot cards and Wicca, paganism books, and books on how to do magic. And I used to go there and save up money to buy these books. I'm talking like 10 years old. I have no idea what even naturally pulled me towards those subjects. And I remember just reading all throughout my youth, being super interested in magic. I don't know. I wanted magic to be real. I learned about like John Dee, and I learned about Aleister Crowley, And reading these books, reading about Aleister Crowley, how he would make communication with these aliens using psychedelics and stuff. So I was like, yeah, just found myself naturally kind of pulled towards that area. And I remember reading these old witchcraft books and it just being like, take this plant and wrap it with this plant and then use a red candle and burn it and you'll get this result. And just kind of believing it, you know, I was like, I think this is probably real. And then you get into like the more esoteric stuff where you see like geometry is a big part of all of this kind of things. You have the lesser keys and the higher keys of Solomon. You have all the tantric symbols and yantras over in India. You have traditional, what we would call, I guess, witchcraft. You know, they're doing circles with pentagrams and different shapes. So there's something weird with geometry. Ruins, yeah, totally. Ruins. Runes. Yeah, I don't know. Went down deeply the witchcraft hole. You know, I feel like if you really pay attention to my videos, that's what I'm looking for. I'm going and hanging out with the witches all around the world. What do you call a woman in the jungle? Yeah, maybe we call it ayahuasca, and we have this commercialized idea of what ayahuasca is. But if you step out and examine it, what you have are people deep in the Amazon jungle collecting plants and putting them into cauldrons and brewing them and giving you some potion which you drink and have a visionary experience. Why did witches use frogs in cartoons, you know? You always see these witches throwing frogs into cauldrons and bubbling and boiling, and you see all these people are using frogs to get high, as we would say now. But really, you know, if this was 1,000 years ago, would we say, oh, you're just getting high? It's like, no, dude, you know, you're tapping into something. So, you know, I feel like my whole life has been this conveyor belt of trying to find magic, trying to find real magic. And it didn't work until I found psychedelics, truly. You know, I had some strange experiences in life. You know, you have some mind fucks where you just think about the paradoxes of reality. Like, does the universe have a wall or does it go on forever? How are either of those possibilities possible? Both are impossible. But what is the third option? So, you know, you have these kind of brain fucks which allow you to kind of tap into the magic of life, where you have to say, like, I don't know, you know, nothing feels satisfactory as far as what the religions are offering, what society is offering, because I'm thinking about these things. Does the universe go on forever? Does it just stop? How are either possible? And how am I here to thinking about that? You want me to just like skip my way down the street on the way to work in the factory, you know, whistling and just smoking cigarettes? It's like very young, I saw that there's something bigger going on. So, like, I don't know, witchcraft was my only kind of way to begin to try to understand that. You call it witchcraft today, but it's really just humans interacting with the environment. Have you ever felt evil spirits? Yeah. When you do ayahuasca, and when you're doing ayahuasca, not just for like the healing hippie flower power type of stuff, and you do it to talk to spirits, it gets real weird because something comes through. Like when you sit there, and there's an experience where you feel the come up of the drug beginning to just spread itself through you like vines, and maybe you're in the dark and you maybe have your eyes closed anyway, and then you like see this thing coming like mist or smoke or something in the distance, and it's like the DMT shapes in world, and you have to let that thing just consume you. And then once it consumes you, you kind of struggle with it for a minute. And then if you just keep breathing, it pops through into a space. And in this space is like this strange purgatory of souls. I don't know. It's like, I don't know if they're dead people or if they're just spirits living in a different dimension. Like maybe it's just a place like this, like there's animals here, there's bugs flying around. Maybe this is a different world that I've broken into and I'm the spirit there. I don't know. But when you're there are without a doubt these like beings that approach you in a way that here we would call like a scary spirit or like a demon or like, because they present themselves as terrifying creatures and they try to, like, I don't know, extract fear out of you. It's almost like fear is what makes them, and they'll take you down the most hellish rabbit holes you can imagine. I don't know if you would just allow your fear to capture you when you're interacting with these beings. They'll show you dead bodies, everything, dead kids. And the thing is like when you're there, it's not like a dream or a vision or something. It's like you can smell it and you can feel it and you can interact with it, and it's presenting itself as an intelligence that's not you. It's not like, oh, I'm just having this vision of this dream. It's like, no, this thing is like, it's like you're coming up in contact with something. Maybe somehow deep down in myself, like I'm fragmented to the point of delusion where I truly feel like I'm coming in contact with something, and this drug just puts you in that space. But either way, this thing is presenting itself as a real standalone world. When you're in this world, you can look around and it remains stable. I mean, maybe it's melty and weird and hard to make out, but it's like a space. I don't know. These shamans in the jungle are making deals with these spirits through the plants, and they explained it to me. You do what in Spanish is just dieta, a diet, and the idea of the diet is that plants have inherent qualities to them, just like a human being or like a certain species has inherent behaviors to it. Well, plants are also like this in their cosmology. And when you take certain plants, like maybe there's one plant called chikuni, you go into the jungle for 3 months and you live in this little hut, and you're only taking chikuni plant. Maybe you're drinking just a little bit of water and you're having a plantain and maybe a fish. Everything else is completely removed. You're not talking to anybody besides the teacher that's administering you through the experience. It's like a vision quest, like some Native American vision quest. You go off into the jungle and you do nothing but ingest this plant. And through this, the plant begins to come to you in your dreams. It begins to develop and form an allyship. This is how they talk about it. They talk about it like a friendship, where you bond with the spirit of the plant. And through that, you get the power of the plant. You get the power of the plant. And the power of the chikuni plant is that there are these spirits in the jungle that are called chikunis. They're kind of just like protectors of the forest, some type of elementals. And this plant is the portal to their world. And when you become friends with them, they help you. The shamans say that they are like the transcended shamans. Like when the shamans break through into the spirit world and they still protect the jungle, this is the kind of language they use when they talk about the chikuni spirits. But the chikunis, I've gotten to see them, and maybe it's my own delusion, but when you hang out with these people long enough and they are explaining their worldview to you and you are participating, it's not like a delusion. Like I walked away skeptical. Well, I went in skeptical. I went in just like, yeah, this is interesting. Some tribal people in the Amazon, and they have these interesting beliefs and using these plants in strange ways. Crazy jungle people. But then you stay for a year and you walk away feeling like, I know nothing about the magic of the plants in this planet. I live in a city, all of my senses are poisoned, and I have this self absorbed ego to project some primitive idea onto these people. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, these people, just like some jungle people. It's not just some jungle people. This is some true earth communication that they have tapped into. They're really just talking with, I don't know what it is they're talking with, but if you go there and do it, it works. I don't know. I don't really know what else to say. And the shamans tell me that they use them, these spirits, and you use different plants to get different powers. Like Toei, for example. Toei is another flower or plant you can use, which is delirium. You will go crazy if you take it, but these shamans have learned to do it. And when you get the power of Toei, you can predict the future, you can find lost objects. It's just like you break out of time. And if any of you have had like a deep psychedelic experience, maybe if you have felt that, where you can just like kind of pop out. And they are able to do that and go back and forth in the timeline of time and pop out and look and then pop back in and say, oh yeah, the animals you want to hunt are over there. Did you guys see that documentary on Netflix about those little kids that crashed in the jungle and they got lost in the jungle? Their mom died, the pilot died, and like these 3 little kids had to survive in the jungle, and the whole Peru did like a hunt for them. I'm talking remote jungles. How do you find someone that in the remote jungles, especially with all the animals out there and stuff? And they have these trained soldiers go in there and they're tracking and they're looking, and it goes for like a month and nothing. And at the end, I don't remember what it's called, but at the end they bring a shaman that drinks ayahuasca, because the village people and the tribes are also helping, but they're doing their own. There's 2 groups. There's the government army out there looking for it, and then there's like the village people, the natives of the jungle that know how to navigate the jungle, and they're drinking ayahuasca and stuff. And then at the end, the guy drinks ayahuasca in his last attempt and has the vision of where the kids are. They walk over there and they find them. I mean, this is the way that the story is told on Netflix, and it sounds sensational and some like, yeah, okay, is real. For me, it's not even like a belief at this point. I've spent so much time in that space where I'm like, yeah, the sun rises, the sun sets. There is another world happening, and the plants, certain plants, allow you to see it. I don't even consider it a belief anymore. It's like not even an opinion. You never got locked out? No, dude, I'm in it right now. That's how I know it's real, is because like you see, we have a fake idea of the world, which comes from our conditioning. It comes from the things we like, the things we don't like, the way people have treated us, our bruises on the ego, the things that have happened to us in life. Maybe you don't like weed because your parents were stoners, or your older brother was a stoner and he beat the shit out of you or something. And now every time you see weed, you have some negative reaction to it, just as an example. So like, the world is not objective. We are moving with a subjective layer on top of it. And this completely paralyzes us from seeing the world as it is. Do you see what I'm saying? We're like projecting some meaning on top of it that isn't actually there. It's just ourselves. We are constantly seeing a mirror of ourselves in the objects that we confront. Yeah, it looks different, but the way that you see it is in some way a reflection of yourself. You know what I mean? But like once you become aware of that, which I guess just is what mindfulness is, when people say like be mindful, I don't know, you begin to realize like the plants are entities, they're beings here on the planet with us. They're reacting and they move and they have intelligence. Of course they have intelligence. They're older than us. You know, the plants have been on this planet way before humans if we take the fossil records as being real. So of course these things have intense intelligence, billions of years of evolution. And once you can break through that thought hypnosis, the ego hypnosis, I guess you call it, is the space where witchcraft begins to be fun because you can begin to play and not be trapped in a projection. Maybe it's just another projection, but it changes your experience in the world. Oh God, Korean babies in here. Korean baby is always Korean baby. I love it. Always leaving the most wild messages on my YouTube comments. And the name is just so funny because every time I just see you like defending me in a comment with some riddle, and it's just coming from someone with the name Korean baby with your little icon, it just makes me laugh every time. Hard to find a Korean baby. It is very hard to find a Korean baby. Unless you're in Korea, I imagine it's pretty easy there. But if you don't have access, it's not an easy find. But I've got one on deck here in case anyone needs one. Thoughts on the Vedas? I am not qualified. They're interesting. I like some of the old Vedic stuff. I like the idea that there was actually a Vedic civilization that was like moving from Europe all the way down into India, and seems to be true because you find Vedic gods all the way in Hattusha in Turkey, which is like the north part of Turkey. All right, little spider, get out of here. Look at the spider right there. And so the Vedic civilization must have just been so crazy. And you find the swastika. People say the swastika is an Indian symbol. And I mean, swastik is Sanskrit, but you find this old swastika symbol in Ukraine. And, you know, that's sort of I was going to say, talk about Hitler history, but I'm in a cafe full of people. But yeah, you know, it's just a symbol that has been being used in different ways. And it comes from Europe. You know, the oldest ones we find are in Europe. And I forget what we were even talking about. That whole me almost talking about Hitler out loud casually threw me off. During the day, how do you stay present in the present moment? Do you have any techniques like focusing your attention? I'm not like a big, like meditator yogi type guy. Like I'm not just gonna be like, okay, today's the day I'm gonna sit here. Every day I sit for 10 minutes and just focus on my breath. I feel like I just come on here to these live streams and I see my brain in action, and in a way, it gets it all out for me, and that is a meditation. Uh, I don't know if I'm living in a stillness or attempting to live in a stillness. I do kind of feel like I'm always there, even while my mind is racing. Like I feel like this might be weird to say, but I feel like I can be in a very chaotic experience and even know my mind is overwhelmed and see the overwhelmedness of my mind, but sit behind it. I don't know if that's a silence because it's very loud, but I don't know. I'm able to be a fly on the wall in my own mind. And there's not really any techniques or methods I use to do it other than maybe autism. First time on my live. Namaste. Welcome. Sing. Sing is oh look, I see Jamie coming. Sing is Punjabi, right? Sat Sri Akal. We'll see if Jamie walks over here. I saw him walk and turn around. Maybe he's got live streaming stage fright. What's your dreaming life like? Do you ever have prophetic dreams, vivid dreams? Yeah, I have very vivid dreams, very prophetic dreams. My prophetic dreams are usually meaningless. Like, okay, let me give you an example of meaningless. Like, when you have a dream and it just feels so real that it's almost bizarre, or you wake up like, I don't know, it just doesn't feel like a normal dream. Like sometimes you can just wake up and, oh, it was a weird dream and move on instantly. But there are some where it's just like, I don't know. And this dream I had was I was driving down this long road and there were fields on both sides of me, like agricultural fields, farm fields. I feel like maybe one was corn. I think it was both cornfields. And there were churches in the distance. Like there would be a church in the cornfield. But in my dream, I knew I was in India. And I remember in my dream being like, there's no churches and cornfields in India. But I felt it. I felt I was I was like, oh, this is India. And it was just like a stupid dream, meaningless. But it like woke up and it felt like, I don't know, it just felt so real that it made me question, like, what the fuck am I dreaming about such bizarre things? And the confidence I felt that it was in India. I don't know. It just all felt so strange, meaningless again, but memorable. And then maybe a year later, I found myself in Goa in India on a scooter, just driving down this long road, which had cornfields and churches on it. And immediately it brought me back to that dream. And it was like some meaningless prophecy, Nothing happened. There was no, like, I didn't see something. It wasn't like a big moment came after that. But it was just like, wow, I dreamt of this moment. Namaste. Huh? Yeah. That is okay. Some people are already asking, like, where's Jamie? They're being conditioned.
You're Joe Rogan, Hermie. Everyone needs a Joe to put some shit up.
I'll scoot next to you.
What time do you get here?
10?
It's a good spot to come and chill though.
I just wake up so early and I don't know what to do.
Yeah. I should have got you something, man.
Oh, I've-
Sorry, that's all right. I mean,
I double fist them. I get a Thai tea and a coffee and just double fist.
yes, that's right, man. Trade liquid gold.
Someone called you yapperator. I don't know if that's you, but someone said that. What's up, yapperator?
Yeah. Just yapping. That's all we do. We chin wag, as we say in Australia.
Shinwag. Oh, you brought the laptop
Very
today.
yapping. Oh, mainly just to deal with some bullshit. I sold a policy that you're not meant to. You can only start a policy 3 months in advance. I did it like 4 months in advance. Now there's some shit I've just got to email back. Fix up. How's everyone doing? What's been going on today?
We were talking about Prashant. People in here, there's people that
Oh
know
shit, they know Charlie Prashant?
Yeah.
Amazing. If you're in India, make an effort to see Acharya Prashant. Or somehow hit up Dakota or hit me up and I'll set up a meeting because
Could I meat him, you think?
you?
Yeah.
Of course.
I'll go meet him.
I want that to happen. I want to bridge the West. Like when I
Yeah,
saw
yeah.
him with Rupert Spire, I was like, dude, what the fuck? He's,
How could I
he's
meet him?
bridged.
Would he do a podcast, like a
Um,
webcam podcast, and I could for the
Yeah,
Video Now
you
Network?
definitely do. Yeah, absolutely. There's that webcam podcast, but definitely in
But-
person would be,
Would he do one with me? I mean,
of course. Let me reach out to some people and get it set up. This is actually what he wants to do is like bridge into a Western audience.
would you do the podcast with me, or would it have to be in person? Would it be best,
No,
right?
Like I think it would be best if we went there in person and had like a time there, but
Yeah.
it wouldn't be bad to have one say
When could we do it?
podcast intro.
When are you going again? September?
He'll be in Goa around once he's finished with his England tour. So when he's finished with all the stuff in London and shit, he's going to go to Goa for some quiet time during the monsoon, and he said he'll ping me when he goes. So he told me when the peak monsoon in Goa is. So when
Okay,
I've
now,
looked
basically.
online, it's like August, September.
Yeah.
But because if we go there, it'd be like daily sessions of like reading and like a lot
Yeah.
of in-depth conversation.
Get the
Um,
experience, right?
but
Get the
that's
Prashant
more-
experience.
Yeah, that's less like the YouTube video clip,
Yeah.
which is something that could be done, but it's actually around
I just
probably one
I
of the
think my
smartest
year's
people.
taken up, unfortunately.
Yeah, anytime though, man. Like,
But maybe we can do both. Why not do both, right? If it's possible.
do
Okay.
both.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Yeah,
Like we
video,
could do video one.
video first,
Yeah.
whenever the
And
time
then we have
comes.
time. Yeah.
Next time we're in India together, we should make the effort to go because, like, I don't know about like the ideas of guru status and all of that. These are just stories I hear from people. But in
Yeah.
terms of like super intelligent, hardworking person, it's I don't know if there's anybody else who's doing that shit as intensely.
Sorry, but my rolling is just so bad. I read it every time.
So good. Where's the grinder? I'm gonna find it.
I was just using this.
Like,
See, people are having opinions about him. It's interesting. Now people know him.
yeah, did you meet? Yeah, don't be overly secular. I think that's to not give the mind something to cling to a bit too much. Rather than being too religious and dogmatic, it's probably better to sort of err into a secularism so you can appeal to people more broadly. It's like, for example, people might ask him about reincarnation, and rather than going to some in-depth beliefs about reincarnation, he might look and make it more micro about our daily life. He's like, one day you might be hungry, then you become the hungry one, then you're thirsty, you become the thirsty one, then you see some beautiful woman walk by, you become the lustful one. And he pointed to more a micro level of how we're in our own sort of sub-personalities, just being born again and again and again based on our desires. So I think in these teachings, you've got sort of like a micro and a macro level to them. And I think he'd rather just not focus on the macro, which is not really able to be proven, and just sort of focus on the micro where, yeah, we all are sort of being reborn 10,000 times in our daily lives every time we chase after something. Yeah, constant birth, rebirth, different eyes. I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, I'm horny, I'm tired. I'm fucking tired. You can see my bags on my face.
Which master have you met who feel that you achieved peace of mind near him, free from thoughts, or who had a profound impact on you?
Did you meet Muji?
No, I never met Muji. I met Siddhi-Ma. Have you ever heard of Siddhi-Ma?
No, well, she was with the
Maharaji. Yeah,
she was his wife or something.
not his
right?
wife, but the just really like a disciple. You know, she was kind of the heir that took the place after he died.
Yeah.
But it was so interesting because I mean, maybe this had something to do with it. But when I went to Kenchi-Dan for the first time, it was like we're gonna go meet Siddhi-Ma, and I had this sort of idea like she's the heir of Maharaji. You know, she's the living lineage of that. And they would tell me all the stories about her, how a German girl came to see her, and they went into the room and talked for 2 hours, and Krishna Das was listening to them have a whole conversation in German. Like, what the hell? I don't know Siddhi-Ma speaks German.
Yeah.
She don't speak German, but in
Yeah,
that
yeah.
moment, she could speak German. So these stories, I was getting told all the lore when I was there. We had to wait for her, and every day it was like, Siddhi-Ma's coming tomorrow. So it's like, okay, I get to see Siddhi-Ma tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes, no, she's coming tomorrow. And every day it's this anticipation and
Yeah.
and then finally, maybe after a week, she comes, and I see the car pull up, and she gets out of the car with these two helpers, and she's wearing white, and it's right in the middle of the day, and it's like, I can't even look at her. I mean, I have astigmatism, so it's hard for me to look at things that are white in the sun, but she was so bright that I was like having to rub my eyes to get a good glimpse at her. And she just walked slow from one place, from the car door to her little room. And as she got there, the whole temple energy changes. Everyone's shuffling now. Everyone's preparing for Siddhi-Ma. And Krishna Das, everybody, all the Westerners are also in that little panic of sitting up straight, like you said, when the teacher walks into the room. And we go to a roof, and she's sitting there. I talked about in Churenji, where you're walking up the temple and you're going to the stairs, and slowly it begins to appear. You're walking up these stairs to this balcony, and as you walk up, she's getting revealed. And it feels almost like a suspended moment. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just anticipation. And then finally, you see this old woman just sitting in a chair like this. And I don't know. You're waiting for something to happen, and you're just staring and just like, I don't know, looking at someone that has dedicated their lives to spirituality, and here they are just sitting in that stillness of what they've cultivated their whole lives. And Krishna Das is just playing songs, and maybe he goes through 3 or 4 songs and she doesn't do a thing. She just sits there with her eyes closed, and he starts singing a Govinda Gopal song, and she starts swinging her hand back and forth, and she opens her eyes and she starts tapping her foot, and it was just like a lion roared. I don't know why, because all she did was swing her little hand back and forth, but it was like a and it was like, the only way I could explain it was like air being sucked out of the room. Like I was in gravity, like an astronaut, just like the moment, like floating in the moment. And that's the only time I've really, that's what I thought of when whoever asked that question. Made me feel stillness. I don't know if it was stillness I felt, but it was just, I don't know. I could have just been romanticizing an experience, and my brain allowed it to happen. But
what's good if you meet someone too when you don't know anything about them? Like meeting Prashant, I didn't know who he was, no guru, nothing like that. There was no preconceived expectation. It was just people being like, all right, set up the room, everyone be quiet, put your phones away. And then super skeptical at first. Like imagine someone comes in, I'm like super skeptical, and then I ask a question after like 20 minutes of listening. I'm like, who the fuck does this guy think he is, coming on some thing and talking to people, even though there was like 20, 30 people at the time. But when I asked a question and he answered and caught an assumption that I had that I wasn't aware of, then I realized like, oh,
give me an
shit.
example.
it was something like I was saying, yeah, but like he was talking about right action, like our duty, our dharma in a sense. And then I was saying something like, yeah, but aren't we just the witness? Aren't I just a witness sitting back watching all of this? And he asked me a question like, yeah, but you can't witness the witness. Like, who are you that's claiming to witness the witness? You are not. Like, the witness doesn't have an object that can see it, it is itself. So it's like saying, like, I can perceive the self. Like, who is it that perceives the self?
Right. Is the ego examining
It's
the
like
self?
the finger saying,
So-
I can touch my end.
Yeah, yeah,
But it can't. It's
Yeah,
that. So it made this sort of thing where it was like, the self can't be talked of. The witness can't be talked of. It's what you are. It's what everything happens within. But you're, as an ego, making that your new identity. And it was like nobody had sort of pointed that out in that way. And I've been going around traveling in India, sitting with Muji and different people, like saying, yeah, nah. But with him, he caught something. So immediately my mind became like student mode. It's like, all right, this guy I've got to listen to because he can help point stuff out. And the next day when he came and spoke, it was like a mountain. Like, the guy was talking, but for me, it's not saying it's about him. Something was shining through him in that ferocity and his stature of like daring to stand in that position and make that claim, call yourself an acharya. It felt huge. He felt massive. Like, I felt incredibly small, and I even felt like to move myself smaller like that, and it felt huge. But nowadays, I don't feel that, but I feel it whenever he reads from a scripture. I feel it so sincere that the purity of that sincerity makes me cry. But I sort of see now, like a friend.
Yeah.
Like a friend. Over time, we
Yeah.
grow too.
Mm.
And we sort of understand what he's doing more from a human perspective.
Yeah, that's how I feel about Bhavani Baba too. It's
Yeah.
like this, just a weird friendship.
Yeah.
You know, like I can't. It's not a guru thing. It's not like because I've seen him in his process. So it's like I can't say that he's this big Maharaji figure that is just going to enlighten people or like there's some magic quality. There's not. It's truly just like an interesting character here on this planet, and he's Connor Murphy with book maxing. You know, you got this thing going on, and he's just taking his own expression to the extreme. How he feels, he's like having the courage to just, I feel this way, I'm going to walk it into that feeling. You know, like calling yourself an acharya, you feel a certain way, and you take that authority. I'm here in life. I feel this. I'm gonna claim it.
Yeah. It starts with other people calling that too. And I
What
think
does
this
acharya
really-
mean?
Acharya means like teacher. Like, I'm pretty sure it means teacher, literally.
Yeah.
So
Nature chooses the guru.
yeah. Well, when I first met him, everyone was calling him Shri Prashant, or calling him Sir. I kept calling him Sir. Hey, sir. Question, sir. It was like that. Like, he was a teacher. But I think, like, he even said about the whole idea of guru, he goes, if you ever meet a real guru, like, come and tell me first. Like, I'll run there faster than everyone and bow down to their feet. But there isn't that. He's like, there is no grand enlightenment. It's just, he said disappointment is better than enlightenment. It's like just to sort of see what it is, and there's no grand explosive moment or something. It's incredibly ordinary.
Yeah.
And I think the idea of honesty being sort of the highest virtue as well, some moral perfection or...
Do you have this one? Did you bring a charger? It's okay if you didn't. It's okay. I'll just let it die.
I
It's
don't
okay. I'll
have
just
a
let it die.
charger. I've got a power cable.
No, we'll just let her die.
USB-C, but yeah.
We probably got 10 minutes or something. The laptop will die, but we'll just let her ride out.
Yeah, that's interesting. He does say no karma and no reincarnation in that regard, because it's a reinterpretation of reincarnation. It's not, we just assume like reincarnation is like being born birth after birth after birth. But there's that probably, but like we said, definitely there's a reincarnation of the I tendency. Every morning we wake up, we've just come out of deep sleep. There was no I tendency. So every morning we're sort of reborn, and it's us who carries across into each rebirth the story from the day before, but that's not necessary to carry across. We could wake up and just become cleaners, dude, and just go live in Cambodia and just like the whole revolution of the life and identity could just change. There's nothing static and fixed.
If reincarnation is constantly happening in the mind, I feel like it's gonna happen. There's everything, so as above, so below. Like there is this fractalization. The atoms are spinning around each other. You zoom out, the planets are like everything is functioning on this weird. I think the functions of the mind are also going to project after death. These habits and tendencies we have aren't just going to cut. The thing is still going to spin and entropy itself outward into another experience.
Yeah.
Reinventing itself. Does Prashant talk about things like the afterlife, or if there's going to be an experience like that?
He'd prefer not to mention it or talk about it. It's,
Does he say that?
He's well, obviously when we're looking at like the Bhagavad Gita or the Upanishads, they mention these things, but they're not seen as valuable to dwell on if you haven't reconciled things with your family and your job and your life. He more is pointing towards like honest observation of the self.
Yeah.
So he would more,
But not even as just a thought experiment. He doesn't really talk about that kind of stuff.
No, not really. It's more of like a Greek philosopher in that regard.
Yeah.
He'd go, look, if you live rightly right now, then you don't have to worry about like only good things are going to come to you. Like, so it all sort of comes down to the micro to micro, and he would just keep drawing you back to like who you are today and the choices that you're making and what trajectory they're heading to you on.
Yeah.
Because if that person's not living rightly, but is speculating about the afterlife and asking him questions and, spending hours and hours talking about the Lokas and the Devas, but that person hasn't apologized to their wife and is now, the kids are suffering and shit, for something he's done wrong. He'd rather talk about the ego rather than God. So for him, it was always a mantra, like, forget God, get God. Like, God doesn't live in concepts or words. And it's sort of like a point comes in life where you have to just forget it all and live, rather than, and in that is where knowledge comes through action. We might, you get me? It's like when you have a decision to make, it's like, how the fuck do I decide? But then you take a step and then things make a bit more sense one step at a time. Do you find that like you get stuck in decisions or something and then you spend you spend a week making a decision?
I haven't even booked my India ticket yet, but yeah. That's a fractalization of that being stuck in decisions.
Yeah, but that's like you might deciding between like Israel and India.
Yeah.
And then it's like you book the India flight.
Yeah.
And then some new information comes, and now it actually becomes apparent you really should be going to Israel. Like in that moment, are you the type of person that would be like, no, I made that commitment, I'm going to go to India? Or would you be like, fuck it, Krishna Das and God's going to be in Israel, Jesus just returned, he's in Israel, I'm cancelled,
Depends.
That money
It depends on the situation. It depends on how extreme that pool is.
Yeah.
Like if I know the pool is like, if it's undeniable, I will go.
Yeah, same here. But it's like you're open to changing who you were yesterday and making a loss for some money spent. Like that's sort of what he'd be thinking along the lines of too. It's like you can only like the path's revealed every step. So it's like how long we speculate on like what we're going to do for that next step is kind of bullshit. It's better to just take the step, and even if it's wrong, we can then adjust. Which is sort of true. I spent a lot of time fucking decision making. Flip a coin. I've made serious life decisions coin flipping. It got to a point of such like existential fucking like mind bending dread. Like I can't decide between two good things. Like you going to Israel or India. They're two good things.
I know. It's
Yet
like I
we're
can't make a bad decision. It's like, and I'm paralyzed between them.
by two. It's not
Yeah.
like we have to do a bad thing. It's like
Yeah.
what awesome thing do you want to do? But yeah, we're just like flipping coins.
Yeah.
Because then it's two good decisions. Like kind of.
So why is it daytime where you are? This is how Earth is. Excuse me, ladies. I gotta be real quick.
Amazing, man. No, he's not in India at the moment. We're in North Thailand. He's come out here to visit. We're in a place called Pai. But I think he's going back to India in like a week or something. But yeah, he's been tossing up between like going to Israel, Turkey, or India, I think. So I think he decided it's not like which one, it's what order to go in, basically. They're saying. This weed is middle shelf. They have here weed for like bottom, like the cheapest is around 20 to 30 baht a gram. Then mid is about 40 to 50 baht a gram. And then top is around anywhere from 70 to 100. So the mid weed is pretty good.
Do you mind if I scoot this out a little bit?
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like with the weed here, like if it's the lowest, cheapest, it's like really shit. And if it's the high quality, I can't tell the difference between the middle and the high.
Really? I can.
Really, between the high?
Yeah.
Which one did you get here? With how much was this for 1 gram?
150?
But you bought 10 gram and you got discount 50%. So it'd be like 75. You'll have high grade right now.
Yeah.
This is mid. This was
Yeah, I can
like-
tell the difference.
You can?
Yeah.
Yeah, serious? I can't tell. I think it looks lighter, but in terms of the high or the feel?
Both.
Really?
Even the taste,
Oh,
everything.
I didn't notice a difference.
It's harder for me to smoke it. It's harsher. I don't ever say anything,
Wow.
but
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna try it out. Let me know what did you get?
yeah, you can tell. Look, you can totally tell the difference in the quality just by looking at it.
But that's this particular one that I bought. Like there's some that's there that looks exactly.
They look like this, but you can tell by the smell. Like sometimes it's deceiving by the look, but if the look and the smell is correct, then you're like, I mean, I guess that just comes from being a stoner. I
Are
don't
they
know.
right? Did you get it from here?
Yeah.
What was the name of it?
I couldn't tell you, but I could point it out by looking at
I
it.
wrote it online.
There's some stoners down here that understand. Like sometimes it'll look real nice, but I don't know. It smells airy or fruity.
The bad, like the cheapest stuff, I can obviously tell that it's not looking good. There's a lot of stuff that's like, I think 10 grams for 100 baht or something like that. And it's like leaves and
Shit, my mom
even
smokes.
seeds and stuff. Maybe in the bong, it's okay.
No. If that's all that's available, I will just choose not to smoke. Like India grade weed, I'm just like,
I'm gonna buy some of like the more expensive stuff next and see if I notice.
so cheap anyway, you know.
Yeah. So see all of it. Buying online is even cheaper.
Like you can't tell the difference between like a good smelling weed and normal smelling weed.
Okay, I know that's like that is a weed smell. Smell that. Come on. You're kidding me. That smells way.
No, this smells like a sativa.
It is.
It's yeah, I can tell.
But-
it's a
but
fruity
how-
sativa.
It's a fruity, strong smell. It smells
Yeah.
amazing. What is this?
Well, this is just my personal weed preference. I don't like the fruity sativa ones. I like the OG heavy indicas.
I like it all, man. Give me anything.
I
I'll
can't.
take it.
I actually have preference, like I'm a wine person.
Yeah.
You know?
But for me, not. I'll,
It's okay though. I will smoke it. I'm not like gonna cry about it. But
well, as long as
If I
it's
have a
not
choice.
really shit. That's the main thing. But I don't need it to
my
be.
mom
like,
smokes this
fucking
stuff too. It's like
perfect.
headache weed. You know, it's like it's all hurt your throat to smoke it.
They have hash here. Have you seen?
I didn't see it, but
Yeah, they have hash.
I don't like it. I don't even like
Different
smoking
ones.
weed.
What's this? I got some Thai stick.
Yeah, that's what you said. Did you get more?
Got
We had some last
yeah, I
time,
bought
right?
some last night. I think it smells good, but this smells way better.
Not bad. It's just more planty, more earthy.
But I don't believe these percentages and stuff. 60%, 100%,
Yeah.
all of that. I don't know about all of that.
Well, yeah, I could tell just from the smell that it was sativa. So I do believe that that part is right.
Do you feel different?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be happy if I can find a strain here where I smoke it and I just like sit there.
Well,
Like,
these
for
sativa ones
an
are
hour.
not really like that.
Even when I have the indica ones, I don't feel that. It's like hit and miss.
Yeah,
It's
this one,
almost
dude, this
like-
one gets me. Sometimes I'll like, you probably can't see it on my face, but when we're just here talking, in my head, I'm just like, you know what I mean?
Let's smoke a pure one of this.
Yeah.
I mix this stuff in it after. I want to try it out. Next batch, I'm gonna get some. Let me see. Did you watch Harold and Kumar go to White Castle?
Yeah, it was filmed in
That
Detroit.
was so
Or not in Detroit, but
really?
in Michigan,
Okay, I in your home state.
my state.
That's such a classic.
I have White Castle by my house. You know A Day to Remember, the band?
Yeah.
I took them to that White Castle in my little town.
Nice. Was that the one where it was filmed?
No.
It was filmed there?
No.
Wasn't sure.
Yeah, I got some funny A Day to Remember stories because I don't know, when they're from Florida, so they would be driving up the East Coast and end up in Detroit. And I had made some friendship with them because I was kind of a fanboy, and my mom would let bands stay the night. I'd be like, hey, you just come stay the night. You guys don't got to sleep in the van. My mom will feed you.
Wow.
And they would just do it, you know. And every time they came by, I would hit them up with that offer.
Yeah.
And one time, everyone was playing basketball, and my friends stole their phones and ran away. And they somehow traced it back and was like, hit me up and was like, dude, your friend, like, I don't know if it was location or I don't know how you could tell back then, but it was sidekicks. Everyone had sidekicks.
Yeah, I had one of them.
Yeah.
Top we called them. Yeah.
So they stole like the singer of the Day to Remember sidekick. And then they hit me up and was like, we know where it's your friend did it or something. And I hit my friends up and they were like, yeah, I did do it. And I was like, oh, you got to give them their phone back, you know? And then my friend was too scared to go and actually hand it to them. So he just put it in a mailbox.
Yeah. Just texted someone.
Yeah.
It's there now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hilarious that they turn out to be like a radio band, you know? Like I feel like they're on the radio and shit.
Day to Remember?
Yeah. They're kind of moved into dad rock.
Okay.
Their culture, they have some songs that are culturally dad rock. Like
I lost touch with them.
modern dad rock. Where do you buy the weed in Thailand? There's dispensaries all over the place. It's like in California or something. What do you feel about edibles? I'm very scared of edibles. Kratom? Did you ever try kratom?
No,
I've never
seen
tried it either.
here. They have it around the place. But
I'm not interested. I tried it once
Might be
with
better.
Adam from Psych Substance, and I just puked for like 3 hours, and I was like, makes no sense to me. I'll just not do that.
I don't see people walking around drinking it though. You can tell they sell it in this white bottle, and it looks like a sort of like a brew.
I don't know. You know, like when I was, I guess I'm getting old, but when I more interested in those experiences, but like I'm not even really curious. Like weed is enough, you know.
Yeah.
I don't really need to like feel high in that kind of way, you know. Like go try
Yeah.
something new.
Yeah.
Like I remember before, I wanted to try every psychedelic,
Mhm.
check off the list, like a collecting Pokemon or something. And maybe I just exhausted myself of that, so I don't need to do anything. But
You did go to the most profound,
which one?
say like ayahuasca or
Yeah.
bufo toad,
Yeah,
any
yeah,
sort
yeah.
of DMT or high dose of
Mhm.
mushrooms or LSD. It's sort of
Yeah, I
reality
mean, at some
shifting.
point, you're just like, how many visions can I have? Like,
Yeah.
I just go chasing infinite visions.
Yeah.
They're profound, and like, yeah, every time you're like, oh my god, I get everything.
Mm.
But then you come back and like, what? I just keep doing that, just trying to find that space over and over again through getting high. Like at some point, it's just like, okay, that if I trust the psychedelic and that spirituality that it shows me is real, like, what? I don't need to be slapped in the face with it. You know, I can just accept that that's real and be here now with it present. Maybe it's not as intense, but I can still kind of have it.
Yeah.
I've had it enough that like I believe it, and that's enough. You know.
Yeah. So like, you remember yesterday we were talking with Richard, and I think he quoted Alan Watts or Ramdas or something. There was that saying when you get the message.
incorrectly quoted
Yeah, I was thinking it was Alan Watts.
Yeah, it was
that,
Alan
right?
Watts too.
Fair enough.
I thought that
Whatever.
too, but I was like, okay.
Whatever. Anywho, but yeah, that idea of when you get the message, hang up the phone. But
Yeah.
what do you think that message is? Could say. So, you know what I mean? Like,
For me,
yeah, for you or for in general.
for me, I feel like I don't know if I would have believed in God without
Yeah.
it, which is kind of like, I don't know, almost sounds stupid to say, like, oh, I took a drug and now I believe in God. But I really, I don't know how it works, but somehow in that weirdness, I'm like, oh yeah, there has to be a God. There's no other answer. And I feel like that's the ultimate thing. It's like, okay, I'm seeing the mystery. I'm seeing how my mind can project into a virtual world that is the ayahuasca space or whatever. Like, blows your mind, the potential that you can see in that place. Demons, angels, dead people. And it's just like, yeah, you come to a point like, oh my God, I don't know anything about reality. There is obviously something bigger happening. I don't have any other word but to call it God. That doesn't mean that it's like Jesus or that it's like some old guy with puppeteering us, but like there's just something big happening. And all I can call it is God because that's my native language to say. And like, yeah, the psychedelic shows you that. At some point, it's like, okay, there's a big mystery, and the psychedelic shows you it so much that you bow to it. Once you acknowledge, okay, that thing is real, that it's showing you there is a big mystery. It's like, here it is. I believe that there is actually a God somewhere, somehow. And it's like, here, actually. It's not in the psychedelic. The psychedelic was just a tool to see it, but it's like, it's here. I feel it. I can feel it. I can see it when I look at you. I can see it when I read these comments.
Yeah.
Like, if you just allow yourself to feel the air, the music, it's like, it's so obvious. I don't need to be blasted on a psychedelic to like acknowledge that anymore. And I feel like that's my answer. And once you have it, it's like, I'm gonna sit on my phone looking for it. It's not on my phone.
I wonder if it's because that's not the same conclusion from Richard, so it must be a sort of a different message. Maybe it has for people, unless he wasn't really speaking that. Because he said
then
that.
you hear him say some things where you're like,
I know, it's interesting.
It's like you're just not comfortable with the language.
Yeah, that was what it was really, or hesitant to make a affirmative statement.
Yeah,
like what he really thought. He was sort of resistant to it, as if it was. If he said, yes, I believe in God, like God was going to strike him down or something.
Well, this laptop's going to shut off in a second, guys. I can already feel it kind of lagging, maybe. Maybe not. That's just me stoned.
Yeah.
What is the conclusion other than that? You know, even if it's a complete delusion, it's like
Different framing. Like, yeah,
it's giving life meaning beyond yourself. You know,
yeah.
wow. You don't even have to call it anything. Just
Like-
the fact that it's happening.
Now, would you know you live forever, or have an aspect of you that's immortal? You could say, like for example, Bufo with the light.
Yeah.
You know, I think that that's a part, might be a part of it too. At least maybe that's what I might have got, like a deep conviction. That
Well, I think that there is. It showed me something.
Eternal
that, I don't know if I'm in eternal life, but that there is eternal something.
Yeah.
Like behind all the noise and buzz of life, there is a thing here, where it all is coming out of. You know, like there is a silence in which all the sounds emerge from,
Yeah.
and it's like we get so distracted by sounds, you don't notice the quiet behind it. Whatever that is, that's the eternal. As the sounds and notes change, as you dance along the piano, it's like
It gets really like basic. Like at its core, is it something or nothing? You know, like,
it must
I
not be
believe
the
it-
right question.
Yeah, it's like some people might think that someone thinks there's no God, it's sort of like at the ground of it all, there was just nothing, and then this just suddenly starts happening. But maybe the ground is something. It is God. It is being.
Yeah.
Life is eternal, and that's that sort of sensation I got too. Maybe you're right. It's not like us as such, but there's something that is. It's God or it's life.
Mm.
There's like the ground of it all is alive or full of potential.
Yeah, it's just like creativity. Think of all the potential that it's just creativity is just this thing
Yeah.
in which all of it emerges out of it. It's infinite. You can think of
Yeah,
anything. I can think of this joy in a million colors or this.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of that space, you know, like it's the space of potential,
Mm.
which is like a thing itself almost. Like potentiality is almost like a qualityness of reality. It's like Claude waiting to be told what to do, you know? All possibility is
yeah.
there, but it's just
It's latent,
just this-
unmanifest. Yeah.
but full of personality and full of everything. It's not as if it's a dead thing.
That's crazy. That's really crazy to think about.
I'm surprised how long these laptops go. With just like a few percent. It's been on like 5% for 15 minutes now. Do we have the same one? I think so.
MacBook Air.
Oh no.
This is the smallest one I could get.
Don't leave, you guys. I'm sorry. Bong rips. I don't even know if I could do a bong rip anymore. I feel like it'd destroy my throat. Could you do a bong rip?
I could do a massive bong rip. Then I have to lay down for a bit. Just like be with Shiva for a while, fucking sitting there. I wouldn't be able to.
I would cough. It'd be nice afterwards, though. After I get through that. About to pass out? Yep. Good night, America. Good night, America.
America, man.
It's a mind.
Do a pilgrimage of Chris McCandless. Just follow his madman path
Yeah.
to Alaska. Go hang out
I
at the
just met a
bus.
guy from Alaska. That guy's from Alaska.
Yeah, nice.
That's him. It's Chris McCandless. Or
Chris McCandless.
I gotta watch that movie again. Into the Wild, right?
Yeah. Got a screenshot on my phone from the book, a letter that he sent this like 85-year-old guy, and it was just this like spiritually on fire letter. Like you need to pack up your shit, get a van, and go and see the world before you die, basically. And the guy listened to him, like packed up his life, got a van, and started like
People need to
Seeing
be
the world.
shook awake.
yeah,
They need to be shooken.
yeah. I'll read you the letter after this. Like, I can read you now.
The book was way more intense. So someone read the book.
Yeah, the book is because they don't actually know what happened. They just have letters and
So they don't know he actually died.
testimonies. Oh, they know he died and where he died.
They found his body.
Yeah, yeah. But there was like a sort of 2-year run-up of him working in random places, hitchhiking with people.
Yeah, such a legendary story.
Alexander
Left his car and everything, right?
Yeah. Renamed himself Alexander Supertramp.
What do you mean shook awake? That we are all in a daze of our own minds. That someone needs to slap us.
This is nice.
But it's hard to differentiate when you're already stoned. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it smokes nice, but okay, fresh high just gets. These are our times we're in India.
Oh, you still got all those?
Yeah, but the book was actually from when I was here. Trying to find the screenshot. Yeah, this is a letter he wrote this week. Yeah, they say he was very on fire, just going around like telling people to get out of the status quo and go and see what God has
What year is
created.
that?
I don't know. Maybe they got some dates.
Because he's
Maybe
writing
early
letters.
90s?
So yeah, it must have been
early
90s. Letters feel charged too, you know, like if someone handwrites you a letter, it feels more.
Yeah.